want the ring to sit right about here. So I'm just going to, I'm going to draw a line through the center of where I want that ring to be. I'm going to cut it off the front. And now I'm going to add it to the back. I'm going to mess with it. So normally you would just butt up the where it would have sewn to where it was going to be sewn before. So it'd be like this, but that gives me sort of this weird jut out. So I think I'm going to cheat a little and sort of line it up with the edge so that you have like one consistent strap that goes around the shoulder. It might not fit as well, but it's only a short little distance, so I think it's going to be okay. So now I just need to think about seam allowances. So I'm going to give myself, I think, 1.5 inch seam allowance on here, and that's going to be fabric that goes through the ring and then attaches back on itself. So it's going to go, this is just a metal ring. I have ordered some coconut rings, just haven't come in yet. But the fabric will go in there, and I'll give myself 1.5 inches to sort of go around and come back on itself. I'd rather have more than I need than less than I need. So that's going to be really easy. It's just a matter of taping some more paper on. And then measuring out 1.5 inches of extra for seam allowance. I'm going to cut the seam allowance with sort of a tapered edge. That way it can go through the ring a little bit easier. So the ring is going to be one of the last things you do. You can make the entire swimsuit without having the ring done. So what I can do is try the suit on without the ring being done, and then if that extra length that I may or may not need in the strap, I can let that out from the seam allowance, like not double over the fabric as much. Does that make sense? So that is the pattern all adjusted. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out on fabric. Okay, so everything's cut out. This should be fairly easy because it's really just those two pattern pieces, the front and the back. So I've cut them out of my fabric as well as my lining material. So the first step is just going to be to put the darts in on the swim fabric. You know, I've drawn them in here just to help me because that dart does extend quite a bit farther into the suit than where the fabric is cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the darts on either side of my front and my lining on my front as well. Okay, so my darts are in. I should make a note that I am not going to go over much construction detail of the suit just because the pattern that I'm using, which is Mel from Bikini Design Club, the pattern designer already has pretty thorough instruction videos on her YouTube channel going through the entire process. So I really want to just document, you know, where I'm sort of deviating from things. So I would check out her channel, and I'll link them down in the description box below if you want more like detailed information about how to actually make the suit. So my next step is I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to put in these foam swim cups. I quite like putting them in my swimming suits just because I don't have a whole lot up top, and without any wires, everything just sort of gets flattened out and I look a little boyish. So this helps me get a little bit more shape. But if I put it on here, so they are marked center and center, so I know I have a pair. Obviously that the dart is pointing to the apex of the bust. So if I line that there, I actually see that the cup would actually extend above the neckline. So, and that's going to be really troublesome because of course there's already seam allowance here where the elastics are. So in order to get that in, I would have to lower this pretty significantly. And I think that's just going to put it in the wrong place. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these out on this swimsuit. Sometimes I can put them in, sometimes I can't. I definitely will look at a couple more swimsuits this year with swim cups, and so when I do those, I can go ahead and shoot some videos. So now I can do the side seams, which should be a lot of fun because it will be like, ta-da, it's done. Once you do the side seams, then all really you have left to do is the elastics. So I'm looking at my swimwear fabric and I'm trying to find the right side. So this is the right side. I think that the hardest part of this pattern is really just making sure that you keep everything organized, because it is a asymmetrical pattern where you have that one shoulder. So if you get it on the wrong place, then your shoulders won't connect. So I have the right side of my back facing up, and I'm going to put it right sides together with my front. And I just want to double check that in fact my shoulders are matching up. My straps for my shoulders are matching up. So that I am good. I'm on the right side. So now I'm just going to pin these together around down the length, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to start pinning on the lining fabric. Okay, so the two side seams have pinned into place. So right now I have the front of the suit facing up. So I'm going to take my lining and attach it there. And when I do my lining, I want my my darted section of my lining touching the darted section of the lining, so the wrong sides together. So this would be like how the suit would be worn. Okay, and now the final lining piece. Now this is different than how the pattern designer has you do it. I believe she has you construct the shell separately from the lining. This is just my preference. It's like the stitch and flip method with bras, but I really like to capture the lining in the side seams along with the main swimsuit material, because I feel like it makes the lining a little bit more stable. It's not like floating around inside there, but you could certainly construct both of them as separate pieces. So I am going to do lining touching lining. Now I'm working with my back, and you should have the back on the other side of your sort of sandwich that you're constructing. You want to make sure that your shoulder pieces of your back are lining up. So if the swimsuit material back shoulder is going this way, you want to make sure that your lining material back is going the same way as well. And this is going to be the last layer, so you should have 4 in here in total. And I'm just going to pin that into place. Then I'm going to take it over to my machine and sew it up. So I'm going to use, it's like an overcast stitch machine, or overcast stitch on my machine. I like using that stitch for swimwear and activewear better than a zigzag stitch, because I think it gives you, it still gives you a nice amount of stretch, but it has more of like a straight line where the seam is formed. So I think you don't have as much pulling apart. So when I'm sewing swimwear, I like to go over it first with that overcast stitch from my normal machine, and then I will take it over to my overlocker to finish off the edge. And even though these seams are going to be inside the swimming suit, I still like to overlock the edges, just because I think it makes everything lie a little bit flatter and smoother, and it makes me a little bit more secure in the seams. So that's like an extra 2 lines of stitching as sort of insurance to make sure that the suit's never going to pop a seam while I'm wearing it, because that would be awful. Okay, so now those 2 sides are sewn. I haven't overlocked this edge just so you could see what that stitch looks like. It basically alternates in between a zigzag and then a straight, and then a zigzag and a straight. And so what you get is something that stretches just as much as a regular zigzag stitch. But what's forming this seam line is more of like straight stitches, and so it looks a little bit nicer from the outside of the garment. You know, it looks a little bit more solid of a seam line, which you don't get with the zigzag stitches. So then after I do that, I go to my overlocker and do that, clean up the edges. I sew with the overlocker just to the seam allowance side of the stitching, so that the stitching is still the furthest out. That way I don't have to worry about matching my overlocker threads, because what they're going to see first is the thread from my straight machine. Okay, so both sides have been overlapped. Now we can flip this all to the outside. So what you should have, so you can see from the outside we have the nice sewn dart in there, and we should be able to have all of our seam allowances now inside the garment itself, so you don't see any seam allowances. It looks clean from both sides, and it's since they're sewn together along the sides, I don't get as much shifting with my lining. The next one I'm going to do is the crotch seam. So for doing this, so you should have your 4 layers. The first thing I'm going to do is pin together the 2 lining pieces. Once these 2 are pinned together, I'm going to attach the back fabric piece to this bundle. So I have those first 3 layers exactly as they were laid out once I had the swimsuit, you know, turned around the correct way. So these 2 layers. But for the top layer, what I'm going to do is actually wrap it around the entire bathing suit. So it was here. I'm going to wrap all the way over the neckline, have it come out. So now it's coming out the back side, and I'm going to pin that into place. So what we should have here is 4 layers. You should have the 2 swimming suit layers touching each other and the 2 lining layers touching each other. So I'm going to take this over to my machine, sew it, and finish it off with the overlocker. Okay, so that's been sewn into place. And now again, we just sort of need to pull our bathing suit so everything is facing the right side out. And check to make sure that you've done everything correct. So you should have no seam allowances showing on the front of the gusset. And again, no seam allowances showing on the inside either. But again, I like doing this because it secures it in that place so it's less likely to move around. So the sort of last step that I can do today is to put in all of my swimwear elastic. I have gone ahead and pinned along both the leg holes and the neckline armhole edges. So it's looking like a little prickly cactus right now. But right before I started overlocking, I remembered that I have 2 thread cones of olive thread that matches pretty well with the swimsuit fabric. So I think that I'm going to do my second pass of elastic with a cover stitch machine. I hardly ever use my cover stitch machine because I never have thread that matches, but because I'm a green addict, I do happen to have 2 spools of green thread. So if I do the final pass with the cover stitch machine, I don't really want to overlock my first pass because I think it gets a little bit too bulky with all of those looper threads in there. So I'm going to actually do my first pass on my regular machine over here, just with a zigzag stitch to sort of affix the elastic onto the suit. So for the elastic that I'm using, I just picked this up from, let's see, it says dinfashionSupplies.com. I like the European style swimwear elastic. It's all rubber and it's a little bit texturized. I find the texturized European style is slightly easier to work with than the ones that have like a smooth texture and they're like covered in baby powder. So this one goes under my presser foot a little bit easier. So I got about 50 yards of the rubber swimwear elastic from them for I think around $13, so really inexpensive, and especially if you're making a lot of swimsuits, 50 yards should last you quite some time. So I'm going to apply this onto the inside of my garment just along the edge with that zigzag stitch, and I'm going to be putting just a little bit of tension on it. Like I don't want to go to the full extension of the elastic, but as I'm sewing, I will put just a little bit of tension on it. It's not any amount that I can like tell you. You just sort of have to eventually get a feel for it, and that prevents you getting that sort of like lettuce wave effect once everything is said and done. So if you apply a little bit of tension as you're putting it on, the presser foot will sort of stretch out to counteract that tension, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the inside of the garment with the zigzag stitch all along all of the edges that I just pinned. Okay, so now I've done all of that first pass of elastic. So here's what it looks like from the right side and then from the wrong side with that elastic sewn just along the edge. So now all of the elastics applied along the neckline, the back, and the leg hole edges, we can do the last step, which is cover stitching. So I'm going to have to go ahead and thread my machine, which inevitably takes me like 20-30 minutes, much longer than the actual sewing. Comment down below if that happens to you as well. So for the final pass, we're just going to fold this all into the inside, and then I'm going to cover stitch from the right side of the garment. So you're going to see 2 parallel lines of stitching, and on the inside, all those loopers are going to sort of cover up the raw edge of the fabric. And it'll be done except for the ring. I don't know when the rings are going to come in. It might be a couple weeks, but it'll be instantaneous for you. So, you know, that's good. So the next time I see you, I shall have a ring that I can put in here. So here we have the finished suit. The first rings that came in were actually too small. They were about this big. And so I went ahead and I ordered a second set of rings. The second set is 45 millimeters, which is just a tad too large, but I think it works proportionately a lot better. So what I did is I threaded this bottom strap up through the ring and sewed it into place with a straight stitch, making sure to back tack at both ends of these so that it wouldn't unravel. Then I put this suit on and measured how long I wanted this shoulder strap to be so that it was fitting exactly perfectly. Once I measured it, then I could thread that one through and sew it into place with a straight stitch. So really, really happy with how this suit turned out. I think it looks exactly like Emerald Erin's version. And it was a very simple modification to do to the Mel pattern in order to add this little like ring shoulder detail into there. So yeah, really happy with this. I hope everybody has enjoyed. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a single new video. And I will see everyone next time. Take care.